Ukraine claims to have rolled out the world's first ground combat drone. Just what sort of firepower could this bring to the battlefield? And how is Ukraine going to use it? And is it really a game changer? That's the real question here. I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is a range exercise. I'm pretty sure this isn't real combat footage. This is, of course, a Ukrainian drone that they're calling the Ironclad. And let's see if we can get a shot of it here. So this looks like a control vehicle, an ATV that seems like it has to get pretty close to the drone to operate it. But you can see it looks like a pretty simple ATV style format. Now here's an example of what I'm pretty sure is on a training range. So here's the drone itself. It looks like it's on the same basic chassis. It looks like it has maybe a M2 or more likely a Cord or another highly reliable machine gun on the top. And remember, here's the problem with these drones, combat drones in general, and automatic machine gun systems specifically, because this is actually an evolution, not to go on too far a tangent, but it's an evolution of something that we had in Afghanistan called the Crows, right? The Crows was, at the time, a brand new weapon system that they were putting out to us. Let's actually pull it up here. The Crows is a common remote operated weapon system, or a video game turret. And as you can see, here's an RG-33. Again, this is just what you would have seen with us in Afghanistan. It looks like this is in maybe Iraq a year or two prior, since these RG-33s were much more popular on big Iraqi streets. They were a little heavy and bulky for Afghanistan. But notice here, the turrets, 50 cals, but no one on them. And this is potentially huge, right? The turret, the gunner, is actually sitting inside the vehicle looking at a computer screen, looking at a video game screen. And they are observing the situation with this extra human vision, right? Because remember, it's got regular cameras, it has thermal vision, night vision, and an ability to zoom in. And because that targeting reticle is calibrated to the M2, there's no walking rounds onto the target, right? You put the reticle on the thing you want to hit, and the turret itself does the math and ensures that the M2 is going to actually hit it, right? Now, here's the problem. This is soldiers reloading the Crow's system. Notice they are exposed. The system cannot reload itself. So once it expends that drum of ammo, a soldier needs to get out there and switch it out. Now, don't get me wrong. To be clear, being able to throw an entire belt of 50 caliber ammo at a problem is a pretty good, without risking your gunner's life, is a great piece of technology. Now, the initial, oh, interesting. I didn't realize the same people that made the Crows also made the Raven. The Raven is a drone, one of the first individual squad level drones. You could just throw it into the sky. A little propeller would take off, and it would automatically circle, providing you an eye in the sky view of what was going on. But you can see here that the Crows really starting to roll out, really 2004, but got quite a bit better by 2009. The agreement with the Crows operator resulted in the fielding of over 10,000 Crows systems. Certainly in 2010, 2011, we appreciated having Crows vehicles, especially at night, right? The optics were almost more valuable than the weapon system itself, right? Because all of our soldiers could shoot a 50, but the ability to see at night, zoom in, use a laser rangefinder to get the distance, and have it all be mounted on a vehicle where it wasn't going to go anywhere was huge. So this is one of the constraints this system is likely under, that it has basically one box of ammunition, one belt of ammunition, before a human operator likely will need to reload it. Now, you may be able to improvise and string some belts together. So let's see on this, again, this range here. You can see it's looking straight down this roadway. It notes that the target is over here. It looks like probably several hundred meters away. And so you can see that the drone needs this like kind of straight line shot. And notice that the drone isn't behind any cover. It's just engaging this target. And it's gauging it at quite a distance. And you can see it's arcing the rounds onto the target. And what I would be curious to know is how much math is going on at the drone level. Is the drone critical right here, centered on the target, and then it uses a laser rangefinder to get the distance and calibrates the elevation of the gun to arc the rounds onto the target? It doesn't look that accurate. But then again, firing a large caliber machine gun on a platform as light as an ATV is going to kind of inherently be unstable. So you can see it looks like they're recalibrating. And again, these rounds look like they're going pretty close. But what the real question is, again, tracer rounds work both ways. This is kind of one of the big problems, that if you can see the tracer rounds, you can see where they're coming from. And so that drone is exposing itself to enemy fire, right? In the same way that it is landing these rounds down the shooting range. And that's kind of the tough part. Is this really more effective? What role on the battlefield would this play? Now, I could see it fulfilling a function of like suppression or crossing perhaps some of these large fields here, right? Where there's a lot of potential mines. And an ATV may be lightweight enough that it can drive over a anti-tank mine and not set it off, but hit anti-personnel mines and not get damaged. If you could create a firing platform that sits in that sweet middle ground where it's not afraid of an anti-tank mine, but is too resilient to be taken out by anti-personnel mines, and then you could use that to create a mobile firing position, that would be huge. But then again, if you have a weapon system that's like that, you might as well use it to just clear anti-personnel mines, right? Like just put some chains on this drone and have it drive over, popping off anti-personnel mines, and then have the infantry follow it. Because again, if you try to run this drone out into a minefield here, and then it runs out of ammunition, you gotta have the drone come back, right? Or someone's got to go out there and reload the drone, and nobody wants to be that person. Guys, if you want to check out some footage from the Battle of Robtina, where we're seeing airborne drones get used in a really different way. I can't show it to you here. YouTube won't let me show you this type of combat footage, but it is really, really different than anything I've seen before, especially because we have Ukrainian drones, we have Russian drones, and they seem to be using the same tactics. That video is on combatvetnews.com. It just dropped today, but it's for members only. If you want to support this channel, keep me independent, and get twice a week updates of uncensored combat footage from all the conflicts, and we do a deep dive analysis. We find the who, the where, the when, and the what tactics they're using, and we do all that analysis over on combatvetnews.com. So become a member, check the link in the description, and support the channel. Anyway, let's finish this out real quick. You can see these guys out here. Really, I mean, this is a great area suppression weapon. It really is. But I don't know if it's a game changer on the battlefield, not without some additional technological innovation. Anyway, thank you guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.